Welcome to another episode of the Women's Hoop Show. We've got a loaded episode today, starting with the final countdown to the 2025 WNBA trade deadline. The clock's ticking, and while this league usually doesn't see the fireworks of midseason trade like the NBA or MLB, there is some real movement happening. This year might be different. Some franchises are feeling the pressure and might try to make a deal to change some things. Then in our next segment, one I know a lot of you have been looking forward to, we're kicking off Bring Back a Legend. I love this segment. It's so much fun. If you could bring one franchise great back to help your team to make a playoff push, who would it be? We're going to go team by team with names that built these franchises and imagine what they could add today. And then later in the show, we'll discuss the league's firm response after not one, but two disturbing court incidences involving fan behavior. We'll dive into that. We'll touch on it and how arena security is or is not stepping up. What is going on there? All right, a lot to get to. Let's jump in. Sheryl Swoops. Hello. Hi. I got my shirt on today.
I see. How are you?
I'm doing well. We have so much to talk about, and I was so excited for this episode. I texted you, and I was like, is it time for Bring a Legend Back? I think it is.
You know what, Jordan? You probably were like, dang, she responded so quick.
Yes. One of the fastest Sheryl Swoops text respondents ever. She's like, yes.
I was like, yes. That's all I said. Yes. I love doing this last year with you, and so looking forward to doing it.
Yes. Okay. It's going to be fun. That's coming up in just a little bit. But first, we are recording this on Monday, and the trade deadline is Thursday, and it is quickly approaching. And this is the mid-season trade deadline, and this is a very pivotal time in the season. Like we said, post All-Star, the standings are so jumbled, and every single game matters and counts. So there are some GMs that are thinking, okay, what are some things we can move around to hop a couple teams in those standings? What are your thoughts just in general about mid-season trades? Because it's not typical for the W to pop off, but I think this year could be different.
Well, I mean, there's so much other stuff going on with the W. Why would mid-season trades be another one? But as you said earlier, we typically don't see a lot of movement in the W, right? I think last year we did. This year, I know we've had a little movement so far, but I think we're going to see a couple of more probably interesting moves. And I am so here for it. Listen, I love it. I absolutely love the trades. I love that it's mid-season. I know fans probably don't, because your fave or whatever may get traded or moved, but I am here for it. I am so here for it.
Me too. It makes it fun. It makes it interesting. And you mentioned last year, the biggest midseason trade was kind of Myisha Hines-Allen going to the MinnesotaLynx, and then the MinnesotaLynx going to the finals and her getting some heavy minutes there down the stretch. Like, there were some plays that she made a difference in, and that was because the Lynx front office made that decision to add her to this team. So could that happen now?
Well, and you know what's interesting about that is, let's just, before we even get into like this year, like, Myisha Hines-Allen being with Washington last year, like, there was no way Washington was making the playoffs. Right. Definitely not, winning a championship. So as a player, depending on like where you're going, what that trade looks like players sometimes are like, oh, like, no, I don't want to go. But in her case, right, Myisha Hines-Allen was probably like, oh yeah, because I have an opportunity to possibly win a championship. Didn't win one last year, but she is with a squad that might be making some noise for a championship.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So it's
I love
interesting. It's interesting.
it's so interesting. And I think to even go further into that, this isn't a hoop read section, but just a little history, is that the Minnesota Lynx have been this team. Like, they have done midseason trades, blockbuster ones,
Yeah.
in the past. And the last one, I don't know if you remember, Sylvia Fowles,
Yes.
coming from the Chicago Sky
I
to the Minnesota
remember.
Lynx at the midseason point, not only going to the finals, but winning the finals and winning finals MVP. Like, these were those type of moves. So it is no surprise that the first shoe to drop in midseason trade is the Minnesota Lynx getting DijonaiCarrington in this midseason trade and sending away Diamond Miller, Carly Samuelson, who's injured, and a 2027 second round pick. Sheryl, I love this. I woke up and I saw this notification, and I think this is great. I think this is really, really, really good.
Great for who?
The Minnesota Lynx, definitely. For sure. This is one of those situations where Dallas and Kurt is like, all right, we're punting on this season. How can we just get some pieces for the future and just try to get some cap space? I don't know. He's just clearing house a little bit.
You know what I find interesting? And this is just Sheryl. This is no info from a player, a team, nothing. I'm just going to give you what's interesting to me. So if you're Dallas, right, chances of you making the playoffs are slim to none. So right now, to your point, Jordan, they're like, well, let's just, let's build for the future. But starting the season off, because I was one of them, right, with the moves they made in free agency, I was like, okay, Dallas is going to make some noise this year. Paige Beckers, Arike, you bring in Alyssa Smith, Dijonai. So it didn't go as planned. So I'm looking at Nalissa leaving first, right, going to Vegas. You have to wonder how that move affected Dijonai.
Yeah,
right? Like,
that's a good point.
She's like, my boo is gone. And no, that's not something that they've talked about, but you have to wonder, like, how did that mentally affect her?
Yeah.
Is she, and then she was injured. Is she playing any differently than she was when Nalissa was there? So Kurt's probably, I don't know, thinking like, all right, this is not working anymore. Nalissa's gone. Dijonai's not happy. She's not playing the same, whatever. The thoughts were behind that. So let's see what we can get for her. And you're absolutely right. It's a great move for Minnesota. And it's a great move for Dijonai, right? Again, going to a team that has the pieces to make some noise and win a championship this year. So Dijonai, it's a win-win for her. Definitely. The thing that I'm excited about with this move is just her reuniting with the stud buds. Like, how can you not be excited about that?
The content is going to be great. It's going to be amazing.
But on the serious side, Sheryl Reeves is like, she's a genius in making moves, and she's not afraid to pull the trigger. She's like, this is what we need. Let's go make it happen. And when I look at them picking up Dijonai, and I know we're going to get into like, what legend would you bring back? Dijonai is, to me, is that piece, right? She's going to defend. She can score the ball if you need her to, but she also brings that dog. Like, I know Courtney Williams is a dog, but when I look at Minnesota as a whole, they need a DijonaiCarrington.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Somebody who is going to defend whoever you ask her to defend, is going to play both ends of the floor, is not going to take no nothing from nobody. She's a great piece for this team. Kudos to
It's
Sheryl Reeve.
such a good piece. And when
Mm-hmm.
you talk about on the defensive end, Kayla McBride has been having to work overtime, I feel like, on defending the perimeter. Now
Yes.
this kind of allows her to say, okay, phew, I have somebody else up here to defend with me. And
Yep.
now I can keep going off 8 for threes and halves. Like she can keep focusing on that part. I'm also really excited because Dijonai in this first half, when she was healthy with Dallas, and especially at the beginning of the season, I felt like her role was very offensive. It was
Mm-hmm.
very, I
Mm-hmm.
need to be a scorer. And when I watched it, I mean, she can be, but it was like, ooh, it was a little forced a little bit.
Yes.
It's like, what
Yes.
is your role? When you were on Connecticut, when you were the most improved player, when you
Yes.
were in your zone, you got your offense from your hustle
From your
on defense and from slashing and being like an extra option that sometimes
Yep.
gets slept on. But at Dallas, she was this like number 2 option all of a sudden. And it was like,
Great point. That is
whoa,
a great
now
point.
you come into Minnesota, you can be back into your where you thrive and
Yeah.
be like, you want me to play defense, Sheryl
Yep.
Reeve? I will, and I will get buckets that way. And in the playoffs, like
Yep.
those scrappy games that went down with New York last year, to have Dijonai get a few points here or there, that's gonna be great.
That's a
I think
great
this is
point, Jordan. It's a
it's
great
gonna
point because
be
to that point, when the season started, and yeah, I feel like Dejanay also was like, let me show everybody that I'm more than just a defender,
for
right?
sure.
But a lot of the offensive stuff she was doing, it did seem forced. Her strength to me is on the defensive end. She
Mm-hmm.
is a hell of a defender. And she's that type of player that can absolutely use her defense, turn it into offense. But she is that piece that Minnesota needs. She doesn't have to be the first, second, or third option, but if you need her to score, she can give you some scoring.
Yeah.
But I do. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Brilliant. On the other hand, for
Yeah.
Dallas, they also waived Tierra McCowan, which was not as shocking as I probably would have thought it would be maybe a couple years ago. But now seeing how she was utilized in this offense, she was on a hefty
Mm.
200K
Ooh,
contract. And I
ooh.
feel like that was very much we're clearing space.
Mhm. Mhm.
We're trying to
Mhm.
get
Mhm.
something.
Mhm.
But that also makes me think, are they done? Are they done? Is Kurt Miller done making moves in this trade deadline? Removing that type of space, is he going to try to sign somebody else? Kurt Miller, I'll give him credit. He has not been shy. This is his third trade of the season. Usually we see movement from waves and minimum contracts, but he has been rotating the pieces. So I don't know. That also made me think maybe we have another trade coming up for Dallas. We'll see.
Mm.
Mm,
I,
say no
only
more.
thing I'll add is um I'm not surprised that they waived Tierra.
Yeah, me
Um
neither.
I I wonder if Tierra will get picked up
Mm.
from, I don't know, somebody else. She just seemed very unhappy,
Mm.
unsure, just not playing the way we've seen her play before. So I'm very curious if she'll get picked up. But to your point, is Dallas done? I don't know. My question when I saw that was, yes, they're clearly making room for something. Are they just going to hold on to that and wait for
Yeah,
free agency?
yeah,
If I'm Kurt Miller or the coach or whatever, and I'm looking at what we currently have right now, we're probably not making the playoffs. I don't know if if I go out and try to get someone right now versus wait to see who's available in free agency.
That's very fair.
So
Very fair.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't
They're not
know.
gonna make a run for it. I mean, I thought when they beat the Liberty coming out of All Star, I was like, okay, maybe they just needed a break. But yeah, no. Then they went back to their ways. So
They went back to their way.
that's fair. We'll talk more about Dallas when we get to bring a legend back. But trade deadline, just turn your notifications on, keep them on, because I feel like there's going to be more news coming this week, probably even before this episode comes out. It's a fun time. Things are getting serious and teams are wanting to make some moves. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about Bring Back a Legend. Come on back. Welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show. It is time to bring back a legend. We are going to go team by team in alphabetical order by city. And we are going to say what legend could help them. Now, during the break, we just discovered that me and Sheryl took different approaches to this, but that's what makes it fun. So I have a legend that played on this franchise for one time. It could be for one season or for 20 seasons that I want to bring back on this team and who they need right now. This is not meaning that they are the best player in franchise history. It's who the team needs specifically to fill a hole. Sheryl is going to talk about a legend from anywhere. This is trade version. She's going to trade for this legend to put on this franchise. So it'll be more of a general legend that is needed to help this team. And this is like playoffs in the forefront. If you add this person, you're making a leap in the standings.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it because I can't wait. Let's start with the Atlanta Dream. Atlanta Dream, I'm going Angel McCoughtry to fit in on this team right now. I mean, Angel's great, and especially primetime Angel in Atlanta. I love that Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray right now just remind me of Angel McCoughtry and Tiffany Hayes in those early days of Atlanta. Just like two guards, two friends, playing all out. And with Ryan Howard hurt right now, you added Angel McCoughtry, her speed, her defense, her scoring, 5-time All-Star, 3 WNBA Finals appearances. That helps the Atlanta Dream. So that's my pick for ATL.
Oh, no. And because you're bringing a legend back that played for that franchise, there's no better player than Angel, right?
Yes.
So for myself, since I'm doing a whole trading type thing for a legend, when I look at Atlanta right now and I think about like what I feel like they're missing and they need right now, it's a big. And I know they got BG, they got Bree Jones. But when they sub, I'm like, who is it? Who's that big that's coming in? But this legend I'm going to bring back, she would not be subbing. This legend is absolutely stepping into the starting 5 without question. And that legend that I'm bringing back for the Atlanta Dream that's going to help them is the one and only Yolanda Griffith.
Oh, my goodness.
I am so putting yo on this squad. And I feel like I can do that because Sacramento doesn't have a team anyway.
Yeah.
And that's a legend that needs to come back and play. Like yo would and it's not just on the offensive end what she was going to bring, but the defense, the blocks, the leadership, controlling the paint. Yeah, I don't even need to say anything else. That was the first player I was like, yeah.
Okay, that's really good. I also feel like, I mean, I don't know if BG would hand her starting spot to anybody, but that's one that I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, legend. You got it. You got it. I'll sub for you. I'll sub for you. Prime Yolanda Griffith. Whew.
Whew.
Okay, that's a good one. You went
Yeah,
post,
I
I
like
went
that one.
guard. I
Yeah.
like this. Okay, now we're going Chicago Sky. They need a lot of people, and I may or may not have mentioned quite a few names here. But ironically, Candace Parker is in a little bit of a hot seat right now.
Yeah,
for
she
her
probably shouldn't go to
thoughts.
Chicago. You probably shouldn't send her back to Chicago. But go ahead, Jordan.
If in a just pure basketball imaginary world, Candace Parker is definitely needed on the Chicago Sky team. But I also threw in Allie Quigley, and I also threw in Cappy Pondexter. Because they need all three.
And can we just bring Sloop back? Just bring her back from her injury.
I was thinking that a lot of these teams, if you just bring back a player from injury, then it's a kind of a different story. But Cappy Pondexter, they don't really have a true one right now. Rachel Bannum is a shooter first and is playing the point guard. Cappy is somebody who is one of the best scoring point guards that the game has seen. Just athletic, fast, and a pure bucket, and a fiery player. Like, Cappy would not allow the Chicago Sky team to be getting beat down like they are. Like, she would really rally and pull it from her toes to make sure that they're winning some of these games. And then Candace, I mean, that championship run in 2021 was just incredible. And yeah, maybe not right now, but in general, Candace on the Chicago Sky would be great.
Yeah. That would be a no-brainer. But to your point, Cappy was the truth. And you couldn't go wrong with her either. So for me, I totally agree with you. There are girl, they need a lot right now. Like and especially guards. And I went with one that was just a bucket, a problem, and could play the one or the two, but she is going to get buckets. I'm giving them Cynthia Cooper.
Oh.
I just am.
Wow.
Like Coop creating, doing stuff that she did with the basketball. She's also going to help Angel and Camilla and get them the ball where they need it. But she also is going to just score. And she's going to command so much attention that's where you need to bring some other players that can be open on the wing to be able to shoot the rock. But Coop with the Sky all day. I like that one.
My God. It's just every time you say the name, I'm just picturing it and putting them in the jerseys. And that is so fun. Yeah. Cynthia Cooper throwing passes to Angel Reese. That would feed families for sure.
That would feed families. Yeah. It would feed families.
Okay. Another team that needs quite a few. Connecticut Sun. Now, I love that Tina Charles would have been this answer, and she came back to the Connecticut Sun where she was drafted, and she is looking like vintage Tina Charles, Connecticut Sun Tina in a lot of these games. So that is also automatically fun. But the person I said was on a guard sense and someone who's leading the franchise in so many areas, but we don't talk about enough, and that's Nikisha Sales. Another UConn great, but when you think back to the early 2000s and it was Nikisha Sales, Lindsay Whalen, Katie Douglas, Taj McWilliams, Franklin, like that was 4 straight conference titles, and that was a couple finals appearances. Like, this was a team that was really, really good. And I think when we think of the Connecticut Sun, we think of Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner and Bree Jones and JJ. And that was an iteration, but this was the original one.
No doubt.
Nikisha Sales is not only she can shoot the leather off the ball, which Connecticut just needs more scoring right now. But she was a hustle player. She was going to get steals. She was going to get defense. And I love that JC Sheldon is kind of this version of her on the hustle side. But adding her to this lineup would be great. 9 years for the Connecticut Sun. She's a franchise leader in games played, minutes, points, steals. We got to put some more respect on Nikisha Sales.
Yeah.
And I think she should be on this.
Oh,
If
that's
she
a
came
good
back,
one.
woo!
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Like we called her Cool Quiche. Cool Quiche was a buck. She was. You know, and so I love this show because it gives us an opportunity, even if I made up my own rules for my legend. But it gives us an opportunity to recognize legends that maybe people have forgotten about, right? And
yes.
Nikisha Sales is absolutely one of those legends that we should put way more respect on her name. For me, this legend is one that we need to put more respect on her name too. I look at Connecticut like I look at Chicago. They need a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
This player was a lot. She was a problem, and I'm laughing because I loved her game, and we just don't put enough respect on her name either. I'm going to bring Shamika Holesclaw back to Connecticut.
Yes,
I need her. I need her on that squad.
I may have her a little later too when we talk about another team.
Of course,
but
I know. Well, I know what team, but I would love her. Connecticut needs a lot of pieces, but she fills at least a couple of those pieces
for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
a big bodyguard, but she can post up. She defends. Yeah, she's a problem.
And can we just say, again, I don't know if this is a part of a conversation about Liberty losing 4 straight or Connecticut beating the Liberty. And when they play well, they look like a completely different team. But you add in some of those close games or just games where it's like, what happened here? And you add a Meek in there or a Nikisha Sales in there, and that's just a different conversation. That's a different game.
And I'm glad you said that because sometimes you watch Connecticut, like even with the pieces they have, and I'm like, oh, okay. And they start the game off really well. And I'm like, just even the last game against New York, I was like, okay, this is going to be a good game. And then I think a lot of it too is talent, but also like vet leadership. You have Tina Charles and really Marina Mabry, right? Yeah. Those are your vets. So you need somebody like a Keisha Sales, a Shamika Holesclaw that they know how to win games. They're all of this back and forth. Which team is going to show up? That ain't happening. You gonna know which team is showing up.
Yes, for sure. Also, I'm just waiting for one of these as you're describing them, and you're like, she's a dog, she's incredible, and then you just say yourself, and I just can't wait for that.
How do you know? How do you know I'm going to say myself?
I just know it. I know it. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay. DallasWings. This is including their legacy from the Detroit Shock and the Tulsa Shock, because that is all the same franchise. And I took a different approach for this one.
What did you do?
I say they need Bill Laimbeer.
Oh, I knew it. I knew you were going to go with the coach. That is a legend. That is a legend.
They need a legendary coach like Bill Laimbeer. And here's why. Bill came in to the Detroit Shock franchise, and they were the last placed team. They went from worst to first. That is the only time that has happened. And he took them there. and they won a championship after finishing last. That is what this Dallas Wings team does. They're not the worst team in the league, but it's looking bad. And I think he could come in and get some X's and O's, have people playing hard. And I think that's what they need for sure.
That's real good.
I
mean, no, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not going to go there. But I think you cheated because you didn't say it could be a coach.
I know.
You know what's funny? That was my first thought. I didn't know what coach, but my first thought was, well, Dallas, I'm going to bring them another coach. But since you got the coach and Bill, I got the player. Paige Beckers, I just need to say this. She's good, but she is going to be really, really, really good. Really good. I love me some Paige Beckers.
Me too.
Here's my issue with Dallas is, who do they have? I mean, you just got rid of Dijonai in the trade, all the things. You got Paige, you got Arike. So Dallas is one of those teams also, like a Chicago, like a Connecticut. They need several pieces. And so this player that I was like, because they do need a lot. They need defense. They need offense. They need a dog. They need somebody that's just going to go get it. Also is going to be a leader on the team, help the young bucks out. And since there's no Houston Comets, Sheryl Swoops is going to play for the Dallas Wings. I promise you I didn't tell her this before. But yeah, I'm just showing you. You can't see it, but I got my list. You see?
I knew it.
You see? I got it. It's Texas. So keep me in Texas. Let me go play with Paige and Arike. And then we'll get some more pieces in free agency.
First of all, I love
if we have a new coach
for yourself. Yeah, if you play for Bill, I love this pick for yourself because you're like, who do I want to play with? I want to play with Paige Beckers. Yeah, let me go to that team. Let me put myself on that team.
There were a few that I was like, oh, I could go here because I'd like to play with her, but I'm just gonna stay in Texas.
I think that is perfect. The defensive prowess that they lose with Dijonai, replace it with Swoops.
I got you back.
That's perfect. Yeah. That is perfect. The other players that I did have written down was 2020 Arike, who was a scoring champ. She needs to come back. That version of Arike needs to come back. Yeah. And then also Deanna Nolan, Tweety, playing alongside Paige would be a dream. That would be so much fun to see. That would be a problem off of each other. That would be
because Tweety was a problem. Yeah, Tweety
was
a problem.
Who do you guard in the mid range? Like who? What?
Tweety was a problem. Yeah.
So that would be fun. Okay, so if you add a Bill, add a Sheryl Swoops, maybe have a Arike upgrade, bring in Deanna Nolan. Now the Dallas Wings. Now you're cooking. You're a top.
Yeah.
You're
we're gonna make
some
noise. We're gonna make some noise.
Yeah. Oh, that is so funny. I'm so glad I could see the future there. Okay, next up is G, Golden State Valkyries. I did not have one for this because they are a brand spanking new franchise. Yeah. But I love that you, on your rules, you did have one. Who do they need? This is also a team, by the way, I think is going to make a midseason trade because they're kind of starting to slip a little with Kayla Thornton being out. They could say, hey, we have some tradable pieces that have proven their worth. We are so close to these playoffs. Let's make a move to keep ourselves in the playoff race. So they could make a move, but
and there were several legends that I was like, she could really help them. But to your point, losing Kayla Thornton, and I thought about that, it kind of changed the direction that I was going. So I'm going to bring back my good sister from down under, Lauren Jackson. I think
Oh
LJ would
my
be
god.
really good for Golden State. She's gonna play inside, outside. Like she
Yeah.
replaces. Obviously, she replaces a Kayla Thornton, but LJ again, she's a player too. I know we talk a little bit about her, but can we put some respect on her name?
Yeah,
Because
for
Lauren
sure.
Jackson was her. Lauren Jackson was a problem. I would love to see LJ on the Valkyries. And
Man.
because the way they play, like their style of play, I think
Yeah.
she would fit right in. I do. I love her there. Mhm.
That is such a good one. Just Lauren Jackson in today's WNBA is something to dream about. Like that
Facts.
feels
Facts.
like that is a great fit. Really anywhere
Facts.
cuz she was balling no matter
I
what, but
know. I
just
know. It doesn't matter.
she would hang. Like her game would translate to
Mhm.
today, and that is so cool. A lot of players, especially posts, like can't say that. So she was like ahead of her
Mm-mm.
time, and maybe
Mm-mm.
that's why I don't know, we need to talk about her more because Lauren Jackson was cooking.
She was. Yes. Love
Woo!
me some Lauren Jackson. Yeah, I like her
Yes,
with
for sure.
Golden State.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Okay, Indiana Fever for this
Ooh.
one. There was a lot here because one, Caitlin has not been playing. So first,
Mhm.
you got to bring Caitlin Clark back and healthy.
Mhm.
But for me, if you have Caitlin at the one, healthy, Aaliyah Boston down there, then you have Kelsey Mitchell at the wing, and then you look to your other wing, and Tamika Catchings is right there.
Ouch.
How
Ouch.
do you stop that? That is unstoppable. That would be insane. And I know that, I mean, she is the best player to ever put on a Fever uniform,
Facts.
but to be able to have that as a weapon and option, and when you think about Catch and her defense and her scoring and everything that went around with it, on those teams, she had to create a lot of that herself, and
Mhm.
she was very ball dominant. So what would this world look like where she's kind of off the ball and slashing and getting all these different looks because of the spacing of this current Fever team? That would be incredible.
Well,
Incredible.
Jordan,
So Tamika
excuse me.
Catchings is my pick.
No, which is of course I knew you were going there, like you have to.
Yeah, of course.
But not
That's a no-brainer.
when I think about Catch and this Fever team. This isn't my legend, by the way, because I did a any legend. Um, I think about how she changes them on the defensive end.
For sure. For sure.
Like
Yeah.
there are some games with the Indiana, their defensive rotation and things. I'm like, okay, like Steph, you got him playing a little D over there, but it's not
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
consistent. It's not consistent. But you throw in Tamika Catchings, you know what she's bringing on the defensive end, and you know what she's going to command from her teammates on the defensive end. She
Yes.
absolutely makes this Indiana Fever team a championship Indiana Fever team without question.
For sure.
Yeah,
Without
great, great,
question.
great point. Great one.
5-time defensive player of the
Um,
year. Yes. Who you got?
so I got uh a player who I love, and I think she's a great fit for this Fever team because of the way she plays, what she brings. Um, retired way too soon, and it's not Maya Moore, but
Oh my God.
I'm bringing EDD to the Fever.
Oh,
I
that's
like that.
interesting.
Well, and so here's why. Besides the fact that
Ooh.
she's a hell of a player, to me, you have Boston starting, you have Howard starting, right? And when you sub, you have Dantas coming in the game, but I think they need another Lauren Jackson type player that can sub
Mm.
for, well, she probably ain't subbing either, but that can sub for like Natasha Howard. And
Yeah.
when you sub or when you put EDD in, she gives you a completely different look. Right. And you can you picture, just like you picture Tamika Catchings on the wing, you got Caitlin at the one,
Whoa.
Kelsey Mitchell on one wing and just say EDD on the other. Like that's some
Ah.
buckets. That's some
Well, you
buckets.
know what's so interesting is because in a way, I mean, EDD
Hmm.
and Duana Bonner have similar length
Mm,
and
mhm, mhm.
athleticism, and like that's kind of what we were pitching at the beginning of the year.
Yes, yes,
Like that's how it kind of was gonna be.
yes.
So now Elena Deladon there, wow, I really like that.
100%, 100%. And you know, when I
Oh
was
my
thinking about it,
god.
I actually was gonna go the point guard route. One, because
Mm.
Caitlin's hurt, right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
was
that's
like,
fair.
well, we need a point guard. But I'm gonna be very honest with you. I love Ari McDonald on this team.
How
I love her running
incredible
this
has
team.
she been?
Yeah. So I'm like,
Career
nah, we can skip
highs.
that. When Caitlin comes back, you got Caitlin, you got Ari, then you
Yeah.
have Sid. Ari McDonald, this is different, but girl, keep doing you because I
Mhm.
love it. I love it for you. I love it for us. I love it for them. I love it for everybody. She looks
Everybody.
good. She
She
looks
looks
good.
and she said
Mhm.
that, just a side note, she said she's in grad school right now.
Oh, I saw that
She
too.
she
Huh.
had over almost 30 points and she had a 12-page
I
research paper
know.
due. What? What?
Girl,
Ballin'
I
and the
would have been
Braves.
like,
Yeah. I would have sent
forget the
my
paper.
YouTube highlights and said,
Forget
"Hey,
the
can I get an
paper.
extension? Can I get an extension on this? Do you see how I just balled out?"
Oh my god, do you know who
Oh
I
my god.
am?
Do you understand?
What?
Okay. I love these so far. We got to pay some bills. We got to step aside for a second, but I can't wait to see who you have on the other side. Welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show. It is Bring a Legend Back, where we are going team by team and talking through who we would add to each franchise right now. I'm talking about someone who played for the franchise. Sheryl is just saying a legend in general that could help this team right now. And the next team, we're going alphabetical order, is the Las Vegas Aces. And
Oh.
we have talked about the Aces a lot this year. And still, nothing prepared me for the worst loss in
Ooh.
WNBA history, Las Vegas Aces. To at home to the MinnesotaLynx, and you gave up 8 3-pointers by one player in the first half. Woo!
Mm,
So
mm,
you could go a lot of ways here, and
mm.
I'm really interested to see who you have. But speaking of someone that played for the franchise, I went kind of two directions. One was, and I know she'll never go back here, but Dearica Hamby, I think, is one of those pieces that when we talked about, what's missing, I think we kind of took her for granted. Being a 6th woman of the year and coming off the bench, and if you take the iteration
Mhm.
that she is now, that how she's scoring like she is, her hustle, her defense, the effort, Dearica Hamby never lacks effort. And I think sometimes for this Aces team, they are lacking effort. The
Mhm.
other side, if you want to go a big and a center to run with Asia Wilson, I'm going back to Utah Stars, which is also a part of
Mhm.
the Las Vegas Aces franchise, and Natalie Williams. Bring back a Natalie
Yep.
Williams, a dominant center who liked to play back to the basket, who was big, took up space also on the
Yep.
defensive side to play alongside Asia Wilson. I think that could also be really great. But
Mhm.
I think we just also need to bring back different versions of the starting five besides Asia. Like, what was a younger version of them to bring back? But anyway, who you got?
Yeah,
Because, woo!
I didn't think that I would say Vegas is in a way like Connecticut and Chicago and Dallas.
Yeah, wow.
They need some pieces. Like I and this legend that I'm going to tell you, she is her, but even bringing her back, they still need some more.
Ooh.
Uh, I am totally there with you on Natalie Williams, right? Because you said you can go in so many different directions. I do like the Nalissa Smith pickup for the Aces.
It's been
Nalissa, I
good.
think, is finally like figuring out her role and what they need of her. But other than Nalissa and Asia, what other big is scoring?
Mm-hmm.
What other big is doing anything? So that's where I'm like, yeah, they need another big. And Natalie Williams would for sure. See, I went with one that was part of the franchise.
Oh, you
Natalie
did.
Williams would for sure be that big I would bring back. But then when I look at the perimeter, Jordan, and I shouldn't be saying this because you got Jackie Young, an Olympian, Chelsea Gray, an Olympian, Joel Lloyd, an Olympian. And I'm saying, but y'all need some scoring on the perimeter. You need a guard that can score the basketball. That's not going to be afraid to shoot it, that can knock down shots. Okay. So the legend that I would bring back for the Aces, she's a knockdown shooter. She's a dog. She's a big body guard. Katie Smith.
Ooh, yes.
Give me Katie Smith.
Oh,
Katie Smith could be really good on this team.
wow.
She could be.
Okay, I can see it. I can see that. And Katie Smith played a little point guard, but when
She played a
you
little,
know,
yeah, a little.
she was a shapeshifter. She
Mm-hmm,
was like, she
mm-hmm.
also was a scoring champ. Like, she was a point guard, but then
She
another
can
year
shoot
she
the
was a scoring
rock.
champ. Yeah, yeah.
Can shoot
Okay,
the rock.
I like that.
Yeah,
And
I
would
would
you
go
still
with
you
Katie.
have her starting and then Jewel coming off the bench still? Because
Yeah,
that's what's been happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do. I do. I'm gonna go with Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, Katie Smith, Asia Wilson, Natalie Williams. Oh, that was two
And Natalie
legends.
Williams. Hey, now that's a starting five. Now
Yeah,
that's gonna
yeah.
get you some more wins there.
But
Whoo, if y'all don't know who
Katie's a
Katie Smith
dog.
is,
She's a
look
dog.
her up. Look her up. Research and look up some Katie Smith highlights. She is a
Mhm.
bucket.
Mhm.
Oh, I like that one. That one's good. That was a good one. That's a good one. Okay, we got the Sparks. Got the LA Sparks coming up next. Now, I will say one of the games of the weekend was the double overtime Sparks win over the Seattle Storm. That was incredible. One of the best games of the year. The Sparks are starting to put it together. And I didn't go with the big here because I feel like Cameron Brake's going to get her legs back. I think De'Erica has been playing super well. I went defense. I went guard, one of the best defenders, one of my early favorite players when she was at Duke. I'm going Alana Beard here
Mhm. Mhm.
to lock
Mhm.
down the perimeter because in some of these games with the Sparks, the offense isn't the problem. It's the defense. It's like guard your player. Keep them away from the basket. Don't let them get open shots or they overhelp. And Alana Beard would come in and put a stop to all of that. And she is one of the best defenders the league has ever seen. And I think
Facts.
putting her back on the Sparks team, when you think about their 2016 championship run, she had to guard Maya Moore. And just being
I like
able to
that a
have
lot.
somebody who's like, go guard their best player and shut them down. The Sparks don't really have that right now. So
I
that's
I like that a lot.
it's my pick.
I like that pick a lot, but
But
well, I mean, it's really hard not to go with Lisa Leslie.
oh, of course. I know.
So, but to your point, I don't know if they necessarily need a Lisa Leslie type big. So I didn't go there. I
Okay.
went I went with more of a stretch four, but can post up. I went with Tina Thompson.
Mm.
I would love to see Tina. You can play a big lineup. Play De'Erica at the three. Play, or if you want to play Azure Stevens at the three, and then you
Yeah.
got De'Erica and Tina together. Like you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
spreading them out. Tina has the experience. Tina is a competitor. Tina is a dog. All of this, we ain't gonna guard nobody. And 1 minute we're in a game, 1 minute we're not. That's not gonna happen. That
Yeah.
ain't happening with Tina. No. So that I went with TT. Send her
That's good.
back home with her sparks.
Yes.
I went with TT.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
But I do love Elena Beard from the
Yeah.
defensive standpoint. Yeah,
That's
you
good.
got to go with her. You got
Because
to go.
they have, I mean, yeah, they're close. Also, shout out to Lynn Roberts for signing Alyssa Peely to a 7-day contract. That was
Yeah,
another movement
yes,
that
yes, yes, yes,
happened.
yes.
Have that connection from Utah. So we'll see if she can get some run in there as well. But we talked about the Minnesota Lynx earlier and how they added a piece that is nearly perfect. And when you look at this team, they have been winning a lot and they are top of the standings. So it's like, who do you add? Who do you replace? Who do you kind of take away? And I thought, who would make them unstoppable? Who would just give them the trophy now? And that's Sylvia Fowles. If you add Sylvia Fowles to this team, because that is the one thing that is maybe they don't really have is a true post player, a true big. They have Alana Smith playing the 5.
Yep, no question.
You put in the one of the best 5s that ever touched the WNBA court and Sylvia Fowles. Yeah. This team with Sylvia Fowles is a done deal for me.
Yeah, and especially with us not knowing
With
what's
Fee.
going on with Fee, right?
Yes, ankle injury.
So Seal is a no-brainer, and I went back and forth. I was like, you can't go wrong with Seal,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't go wrong with Maya Moore either.
Absolutely not.
So I'm gonna let you go with the big, and then I'm gonna go with a guard because I know they have guards,
Mm-hmm.
but Maya Moore was she was her. She was just her. Could score off the dribble, could post up, could just come down in transition and knock down a three. So to
good.
me, either way you go with Seal or Maya,
Or Maya.
you're winning a championship.
Yeah.
There's no other player to even consider bringing back for that spot.
Yep. That one is an easy one. Not a plug or an advertisement, but writing my book on the history of women's basketball and having the whole 2010s be basically the Maya Moore chapter because she won a lot during that. And it was so much fun to relive that and watch highlights. And then I cried a little because we don't get to see her play basketball anymore. But that's okay.
I love that.
It was great. Okay, coming up.
Good. So good.
New York Liberty, another team that has made some moves. We talked about it last episode, but Emma Misseman joining this team is absolutely insane and is one of those legends in her own right. I think Emma Misseman is a great player and has played for some top teams, a finals MVP, And they added her to this team, and it felt like a puzzle piece. But you have Brianna Stewart, who is injured, so of course you got to get her healthy. Who did I have for this one? For New York? I mean, I didn't really have anyone. I was like, you got to bring Stewie back. If you add Emma Mieseman and
I
JJ's back,
know, girl.
you know,
I know. It's kind of unfair. It's kind of unfair.
It is. I don't know who to add to that. I was like,
I do.
you don't
I
really
do
need a
have a
teaspoon.
player.
Okay.
I have a player,
okay.
and I'll tell you why. And that's the player I went with. I went with Spoon.
Okay, good.
And reason being, yeah, they have Tosh, and Tosh is doing a phenomenal job. Tosh is a dog. She defends all the things. But to me, when Tosh goes out, then you're playing Sabrina at the point. And I don't like that. I don't like that. So give me Spoon. Let Spoon run the point and keep Sabrina at the 2. And yeah, you bring Spoon, and she's either a backup or starter, wherever you want to play her. The Liberty's winning back-to-back championship
For sure. To be
But to your
able to
point-
sub out Tosh and put in Spoon, that's like
Right?
very much the same player, the same energy. That would be
100%.
no drop off. And
Yeah.
that's the goal of
But
depth.
to your point, Jordan, if they get Stewie healthy and she comes back, you added Emma Mieseman. For those who don't know, Emma Mieseman is a problem. Like she can go. She can just go. Like I don't either. I don't know what other piece you're adding.
What a great problem to have.
Yeah.
We don't have a
Yeah.
legend that you need.
We don't know.
That's great. The Liberty, they have, I think they're going to get Stewie back, and they're gonna start putting it together. I look at these losses recently as they just need bodies and they just need people. So it's a very different team, Liberty at full strength and not at full strength, of course. And I think we'll see the full strength when it matters the most. So I'm not worried. Phoenix Mercury is next. And I mean, also could have gone with different versions, could go at different ways here. But we got a glimpse of Alyssa Thomas and Diana Taurasi playing with each other in the Olympics. But having that for a full season would be so fun. And with AT, these triple doubles, these assists, because I was like, I don't want to bring in a point guard because AT has been this point forward for them. I don't really know if they need a big. I think that
Oh no, they need a
just
big.
another shooter, because they are shooters and they are a shooting team, and that's the offense that they're running. Put Diana Taurasi back. She's still in shape. You can just put her back now and have her running with AT. Her assists are gonna go up, and I think that will just be fun. That will be great.
Yeah, I think they could use a big, but
okay.
To your point, I know the way they play, you're 100% right. So I had Diana Taurasi because why not? Why not bring her back? And I love what you said.
2009 Diana Taurasi too. Let's go MVP year DT.
Facts.
Yeah.
I would love to see her in AT and Satu. Like I would love to see that. But I did give them a big that I think would fit right in with the way they play and all the things. And she's a champion and she's her. I'm just gonna give him Lisa Leslie. That's the big I'm gonna give him. So.
Well, just Lisa Leslie.
I'm just gonna give him Lisa Leslie.
Just something light, something that will definitely put them, make them a championship team for sure.
Yeah, they would make some noise with that, I think.
just a little noise. You can't have both. You can't have Diana Taurasi and Lisa Leslie. You can only have one. Well,
we gave some of the other teams.
That's an embarrassment of riches there.
We gave Dallas Bill Lambier and myself.
That's true. That's true.
Girl, that was funny to me.
Phoenix would be crazy with how well they're already doing. But Lisa Leslie, to your point, and DeWanna Bonner has been, I think she just looks comfortable. She looks happy. She looks she's
She
playing
looks
basketball
happy.
again, playing with her fiance. So that has also been great to see. But Phoenix, I think they're going to be all right. They've had a couple games here recently where gotten a little close and stumbled a little bit, but I think they're going to be good. But Lisa
Can,
Leslie's
can
on a
I
roll.
can I go off of topic real quick to ask you a question?
Sure.
I think Phoenix, yeah, they will be okay if Satu Sabali can get back going. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It's something going on there. I feel it's something going on there. I don't know what that something is.
Well, yeah, I think it was an injury. It really messed up
I
her
don't mean
flow.
her. Well, in the
Oh.
interview when what's his name? Coach. When he was like, "Well, no, I didn't I ain't play her cuz I ain't like her energy."
Uh-oh,
Like,
I didn't see this.
oh, you missed that? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did
yeah.
miss that.
That was a post game interview he did. And the question was, why
Oh.
didn't Satu play? He was like, "Cuz I ain't like her energy." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Uh-oh.
So if they can figure that out and get her back on track, yes, I do think Phoenix will be okay. But Satu
Okay.
Sabali is a big piece of how successful they can be.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's a big asterisk.
So
They got to figure that part out for sure.
yeah,
I missed that. I missed
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, Seattle Storm. Um well, this one I was going to go with Swoops for sure. Going back cuz you did play for
I
Seattle.
did. I sure did.
That would
Oh, I sure did.
definitely help them on both ends of the floor. And
Mm.
especially with, I mean, my biggest thing with Seattle, I think they're fine. It's just the inconsistencies. It's so
Yeah.
bizarre. It's so
Yeah.
bizarre. So just some players who are steady, and that is you. That is also you. Another player that I thought too is Swin Cash would
Mm.
be awesome on this team. Swin Cash, when she did play for Seattle, it was right after winning championships in Detroit. Her on the wing, or because I just think Seattle is already big. Add Swin Cash on the wing could also be a problem. So those are kind of my two that I
Well, seeing where you're going by saying myself or Swin,
have. Mm-hmm.
I I mean you can't go wrong with either. Just saying.
Very true.
I went with another big three player that I
Uh-huh.
thought would be really good for them, and because she's her, I would love to see Simone Augustus. Just send her to Seattle.
Oh
I
my
know. I didn't
God.
give her to Minnesota because we did Maya or Seal, but I couldn't leave her out. I need her back on somebody's team. And she could be good with
Oh,
Seattle.
she would be great with Seattle. That is so smart.
She could be
With
really good with
Skylar
Seattle.
at the one,
Yeah.
Simone Augustus at the three. I mean, you could keep E Weezy in there at the two. Or Gabby.
No.
No,
I'm
Gabby.
gonna have Simone play my two and let Gabby play
Yeah.
my three.
Yes, yes. And then NECA and then Ezzy.
Or yeah, or
Whoa.
whatever. The 2-3, it's about the same anyway. You got
Yeah, yeah.
Gabby,
Sorry, E
Simone,
Weezy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Either one.
Gabby,
No,
Simone Augustus.
Weezy is gonna come in and back up Skylar.
Holy crap.
Yeah. What a
That is
lineup.
a that
What
is
a
a
lineup.
really good lineup.
Ooh.
That might be
Ooh.
one of my favorite ones. That might be one of my favorite ones he
What a
had.
lineup, right?
That's kind of
Jeez.
crazy. That's
Ooh.
insane. That's consistency issue out the window.
Mm.
Money Moan
Mm-mm-mm.
was money for a reason. So you gotta have
Mm-hmm.
her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, I like that one. I like that one a lot. Last but not least, the Washington Mystics.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about her earlier for my pick. You could also go, you could add Emma Mieseman to this team right now. You
Girl,
could do
right?
that, and that would help this team. But I was thinking, I didn't choose EDD because I feel like Washington has a little bit of an embarrassment of riches at this 4-5 area.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, EDD could play the three, but I I think Aaliyah Edwards is trying to find her rotation, and then you have Kiki Finn dominating, Sonia Citron running the wing. So I would love to see Shamika Holsclaw here because
could be
that her running with Sykes and
good.
Sonia, that would just
You can't go wrong with that.
So good.
Can't go wrong with
good.
that. You cannot go wrong with that. I love that. I love that.
Bring back Meek.
And so to me, because Georgia Amore is out, I think that I love Suge Sutton. I do, but I still think they need a point guard. So I'm going to take her away from her franchise and put her with Washington, and that's Sue Bird.
Oh my God.
I'm going to have Sue go run the Mystics for me.
That's a good one. That is such a good one.
But I cannot wait until Georgia Amore gets healthy. Can't.
But you're right. That would elevate current players to a level that they haven't even witnessed before. Sue would get them looks like they have never had. And that is what would just elevate the already pretty solid team. I like watching this Mystics team a lot. But you throw Sue, I would like it a lot more. That's a good one.
Yeah. She would be really good for the Mystics. She would be.
Really good. You're a really good GM. You're an imaginary legend GM. You are so
an imaginary legend GM.
You're so good at that.
That's what I want to do. Let me put some teams together.
That would be all of
Vegas. Vegas. Let me put a team together. Y'all need a GM.
You do need a GM. Hey, shoot your shot. Shoot your shot.
Just put it
Natalie
out there.
Williams was their GM. Now we're having her back playing. But
I know, right? Now, Nat, you gonna come out of retirement and play.
That was so much fun. That was so good. Please, if you're listening to this, tell us what you think. If you have any other ideas, send us an email, send us on social media, because I'm sure there was an infinite number of options for each of them. But I love our cases and who we picked. Before we go, real quick, I know this has been a long episode, but briefly, let's just touch on the subject of the flying sex toys that have been hitting WNBA courts. This started out hilarious, and it was weird but funny because it was so weird. And I watched the Atlanta Dream Valkyries game live when the incident happened, and the camera never panned to it, and then they panned to it real quick and then went away. But now it's happened twice, and it has the players feeling unsafe, and you shouldn't throw anything on the court anyway, but especially not a sex toy and during live action, and someone could get injured. What's the security doing? I just have a lot of questions, and it's taken a turn. So we don't need this anymore. Nip it in the bud.
What are we doing? I just, people are always coming for the W. They're always coming for the players, like, just for whatever reason. And to do something so childish and immature, it just makes the league look like a joke. And we're far from that. Like, to your point, what is security doing? And, I had this conversation with some other people, and we were jokingly talking about how they probably got in with it. But okay, I laughed. Now I'm done. But here's my thing. Like, does security not check bags anymore? And if you check the bag and you saw it and you still were like, oh, go ahead. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? What are you doing?
And from what I've heard, the Atlanta Dream is a clear bag policy. So how did that happen?
So then it clearly wasn't in a bag. It was
right.
It was on a body.
Somewhere else. What
not in a bag,
is
on a
going
body.
on? I agree with you. What are we doing?
Jordan, this is so, and whoever did it, grow up. Like, grow
Seriously.
up. What was your, what message were you trying to send?
I don't know.
It's
weird.
It's nasty. It's disgusting. It's disrespectful. It's childish. It's ugly. It's all those things. Like, cut it out. Just cut it out. And if that's what you have to do, don't come. Don't come. We don't need all of that.
We do not need that at all.
And
the fan was
security
arrested.
Be better.
Yes. The fan was arrested after the incident in Atlanta. It's unclear if the fan involved in the Chicago incident was arrested, but the league issued a statement saying that, any fan that's throwing objects onto the court will be ejected immediately, face a minimum 1-year ban, and be subject to arrest and prosecution. And so I am happy that the WNBA kind of was like, hey, let's stop this. And so it doesn't become a trend. So people aren't doing this all for the rest of the season, because here are the objectives. I think a 1-year ban is too light. I think that needs to be longer. But it's a safety risk for players, officials,
you should never be able
fans.
to come back ever.
You shouldn't. It should be a life ban. But yeah, we just had to briefly touch on that because it's really taken everybody for a loop on social media for this past couple days.
Awesome.
That was fun. It's always fun with you, Sheryl.
It was fun. Time. That was a lot of fun. I love doing that with you.
That was great. Happy trade deadline to you. And I'm sure there will be many more news coming our way this week. And we'll have more episodes this week as well to dive into the trade deadline. So stick around for those. But thank you, Sheryl.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Jordan. Love ya.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an update. Your support means the world. And if you're feeling generous, leaving a quick rating or review helps more Hoops fans discover the show. And you can now see us on our brand new YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe there. Shoot us an email at women'shoops@odyssey.com to tell us what's on your mind. We want to hear your hottest takes, your burning questions, and all your feelings about all things women's hoops. We just might feature your note on the show. That's women'shoops@odyssey.com. The Women's Hoop Show is an Odyssey original podcast hosted by me, Jordan Robinson. Today, our co-host was Sheryl Swoops. Our producer is Phil Sweetek. Our video team is led by Kurt Courtney and includes Tim Meikle, Evan Cox, Allison Jeffrey, and Lauren Vieira. Our executive producers are Greg Holtzman, Asha Saluja, Danny Freisinger, Maddie Sprunkheiser, and Leah Reese-Dennis. And special thanks to Moira Curran and Josephina Francis.